welcome to the first edition of Front Talk this brand new week. Today, Monday, the 16th day of October 2017. Front Talk provides you a veritable platform to discuss and ventilate on issues of diverse socio-political and economic interest at all levels in the most frank manner. Let me say that for the next few days, I'll be standing in gap for your regular host, Femi Olanipekun, who is away on official assignment. My name is Femi Adefila. I hope and I sincerely pray I represent him well. The program is Front Talk and the station is Rave 91.7 FM. This morning, we are again focusing on education in the state of Osun. Baptist High School, Iwo, is again in the eye of the storm. You remember this same school was an epicenter of absurd drama of rainbow religious robe during the major crisis. Now the school is at the center stage of controversies again. Last week, Osun State government picked by the mass failure of students in the 2017 external examination result. Both WASC and NECO ordered the immediate suspension of the 5 school principals of Baptist High School, Iwo. This is our topic today, and we have the man who conveyed government displeasure and decision while on a scheduled visit to the school, Dr. Isiaka Owade. Dr. Owade is the executive chairman, Osun State Education Quality Assurance and Morality Enforcement Agency. Sir, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good morning, listeners.
Let me ask you straight. Why did you wield the big stick against the 5 principals of Baptist High School, Iwo?
Thank you, Femi. Good morning, listeners, once again. Well, you realize the importance of education. And if children are not given the right form of education at the right time in their life, we may be facing a very difficult future indeed. I want to take your indulgence because I know invariably this discussion is an audience participation discussion, and you will get to that. I want to read out the statistics of exam results for the state, not for that school alone.
Okay, generally.
Generally.
Okay.
Since 2003.
Okay.
So that we will have all the perspectives and people will be properly informed how to contribute.
2003.
To the discussion. I will rush through it. Okay. In 2003, the percentage pass in WASC was 12.3%. In 2004, 7.2%. And I want listeners to please record this, for their discussion. 2005, 6.4%. 2006, 10.9%. 2007, 6.9%. 2008, 10.1%. 2009, 14%. 2010, 15.7%. This was the year Arabia came in November of that year. 2011, the first year of Arabia, 21.9%. 2012, 22.2%. 2013, 20.54%. 2014, 18.55%. 2015, 19.5%. 2016, 47.3%. 2017, a slight dip, 44.59%.
But let me ask you, sir, why do you prefer the route of the percentage pass and not the rating of Osun State in the Committee of State as far as NECO and WASC are concerned?
We've discussed this extensively before. The WAEC League, which is the league you are referring to. Well, it's a league, you got figures there and states are listed, but what we have against using that league, that table, is, there's really no policy value. I mean, will I prefer scoring 6.9% in WAEC and coming second, or scoring 60% and coming 25th? You understand? So it depends, who is looking at the figures. Again, we find out that examination conditions nationwide are varied, and without impugning any state's integrity, we know for a fact that there are states, attitude to miracle centers vary from state to state. So we cannot compare results. We would rather focus on our absolute max, as it were. And when we came in 2010, 15.7%, and since 2003 to 2010, the best result was 15.7%. So Arabia came in at 15.7%, and due to various policies and interventions, the result is now 44.59. I want to thank the teachers, because Arabia was not in school teaching. So we really have to thank the teachers that have taken it from 15.7 to 44.5 now. So it's a continuum. The policy intervention is a continuum. You know, new schools were built to improve infrastructure, to improve the learning environment. Teachers, additional teachers were added when some teachers left in 2012, and we've been, you know, children are being fed in school. So many interventions just to keep enrollment up and keep retention in school. So the government has got to the stage now of looking at the human factors that could affect results and are affecting results. So that is what has taken us to where we are today. And that was what informed the creation of my own agency, Osun Education Quality Assurance and Morality Enforcement Agency.
Was that why you wielded the big stick?
Well, not wielding a big stick. It was, for me, an unpleasant decision to take. But, you know, work is work. And when anybody is put in charge as a gatekeeper anywhere, you must keep the gate. You understand? And, you know, it's not like this is the first year. I said we've improved the result from 15.7%, which we inherited, to 44.59 now, as we speak, 2017. But 44.59 is not where we want to be. And if we look at the order, so many interventions that have gone into education, new schools, renovation of old schools, various other interventions, creation of district offices and so on, we believe, and I am convinced, that what we are getting in terms of performance output is not commensurate with what government is putting in. So the questions must be asked. Where is the breakdown?
Dr. Wade, on your official Facebook page, you alleged what you describe as sabotage.
I don't use that word, sabotage.
What did you use?
I say, you know, in relation to the principals concerned, I allege them of dereliction of duty, because certain things, certain interventions we introduced, which I expected them to implement, were not adequately implemented. So that was dereliction of duty. I allege them of ineffective leadership. And if you as the owner of this place, if you put a manager here for 5 years and it's negative, you know, productivity is negative, poor. You pardon the first year, you pardon the second year. It will get to a stage where you say, hold on, let us review what's happening here. So over the years, we looked at the results of this school. It's not encouraging. So government must take action. And you know, the governor is holding power in trust for people. He got the mandate of the people. So everything will end on this table. So as the community will judge Mr. Governor on the performance of pupils, as far as education is concerned, we also, that Mr. Governor has put in charge as gatekeepers to look after this sector for him, we must also begin to ask questions of the people we supervise. Why is it like this? Why, you know, because we believe a lot has been put into education. Not everything that people want, or the teachers want, or the principals want, but we believe a lot has been put in.
Dr. Wade, critics of your action will say that education in Osun State has been immersed in crisis of politics. Why making scapegoats of principals?
We're not making scapegoats of anybody, you know. And the action taken by government, I want us to look at it in the right perspective and use the right adjectives for it. Like I use your own organization here, or any organization. If a department is failing, you want to know why. So it's not scapegoating. If you step in to ask questions, you're not making scapegoats of anybody. You understand? And in any particular environment, if I want to get to the bottom of an issue in a particular department, the current headship of that department must step aside so that I can do a thorough job. And that is what we are doing. We want to find out. I mean, maybe the poor result of that school, maybe it's not even due to the principal's fault. It could be some other things. But we must find out. And we cannot find out unless we go, my agency goes on snap inspections, on scheduled inspections everywhere. And we go like 2-3 schools a week. So it's not the first school I've been to. You understand? But there certain things emerged from my snap inspection that day that I decided action should be taken. So it's not, we're not scapegoating anybody.
So you believe cutting off the aching head is a good antidote for the headache in this instance? Some believe that perhaps government should sit down and do due diligence, a review of its policies, and come to a decision. Why has there been a persistent decline? I'm not taking the percentage that you use now. The rating of Osun in the Committee of State as far as examinations are concerned. Is government thinking of sitting down so that you are going to salvage education?
Well, I don't know what you mean by salvage, Mr. Adefila. I mean, I told you that we made 15.7% and we have salvaged it to 44.59%. That is an increase of 172% rise in performance. I mean, that's salvage in my own dictionary. You understand? You see, education is such a massive sector and the resources required are enormous. And at any one moment, we must sit down and say, okay, we need A, B, C, D, up to Z, maybe. What have we put in? We cannot put A to Z, A, B, C to Z, but have we put A, B to L or M or K? And are we getting commensurate results? That's the stage we are. Education is improving. There's no doubt about it. The figures say so. And the figures I've read out is an endorsement of current policy over past policies. Because, some say 2004, 2005, 6.12%, 2007, 6.9%. You understand? Nobody can convince or tell me that policies that yielded 6.9% results are better than policies that have taken those results up to 44.9%. They are still the same community, still the same children. The demography of Osun State is still the same. So it means some policies are working better than the other. You understand? So the intervention Mr. Governor has brought into education, and a lot, I read that some of the interventions earlier on, they are working. There's no magic about this, and it's not an event. Improvement in anything is not an event. It won't happen overnight. Improvement is a gradual thing. You put in a policy, you review it, you amend it, you do what you need to do. And if in the process of amending or reviewing your policy, you find weaknesses, you must take action to correct those weaknesses. And, I thank Mr. Governor, he has given us the wherewithal to really address some of the weaknesses we found. And we are addressing, so the action at Baptist High School was just, but we've taken so many other.
Do you intend to do more of that?
Well, I wish it wouldn't get to that, but we are reviewing the totality of the only measure of productivity in education is the result of the students we teach. You understand? It's measurable. You put in 100 pupils, how many pass? It's a measurable thing. It's not subjective.
Dr. Wade, each time we are opportune to interface with school principals and teachers who are the managers of these schools, as it were, they say, yes, this government has provided beautiful infrastructure, eye-catching infrastructure, commendable effort by government. Yeah. But they say it's like having a very beautiful hardware without a software inside.
Yeah, we are now looking at the software inside. The software inside are the teachers, the software inside are the principals, the software inside are the pupils, the software inside are the parents. You understand? Each of these software, to continue using your analogy, each of these software requires different medication, as it were. You understand? How I will deal with parents is different from how I will deal with teachers or how I will deal with principals. as far as I'm concerned, as the head of the agency for quality, the buck stops on the principal's table as far as school management is concerned. I won't sit in the school, the governor won't sit in the school, the commissioner for education won't sit in the school, but we believe we've put principals as managers of this school. If there's a problem, they bring it up to us. You understand? And we sit down together. We're all serving the same client, the children. These children are our clients. You understand? And we sit down together. Just, okay, you need 2 packets of chalk every time, just to use that analogy. Okay, we can only provide 1 packet of chalk. You go and bring your management expertise and use what you've got to give me some result. If I give you 2 packets of chalk, which you ask, then I will say, go and give me the result 100%. You understand? But because I know I haven't given you 2 packets of chalk, I've given you only 1 packet. I don't expect 1 packet to give me 10% output. You know, I'm just trying to reduce the argument so that people can follow. So we know that schools need resources. You understand? Government is doing everything possible to provide these resources. And up until 2014, if you ask any principal, it was rosy. Everything, school grant went up, everything went up. But, well, we found ourselves where we are now. We still have to run the schools. The children still must achieve.
Thank you very much. Let me ask you, how come we even have 5 school principals at Baptist High School Iwo?
Well, I think this was a fallout of policy. When we did the reclassification, we merged schools to maximize resources, to benefit from scale, economics of scale, so that instead of having schools with 100 pupils dotted all over the place, pull 5 of those together, you have a school with 500 pupils. You understand? And you can provide the library they need, you can provide it for the sports they need, and so on. And in doing that, and because Mr. Governor promised that no principal will lose rank as a result of mergers, so principals, schools merged together, also came with principals. You understand? By policy, this situation will phase out with time, but as of now,
when they retire,
when they retire, you know, and then, but what we are aiming for is 1 principal, 1 school, or one head. But even as we say 5 or 4 or 3 principals have ranks. You understand? And in every school, there's what we call a coordinating principal. That is the most senior principal who is supposed to take charge.
That is the organogram.
Yeah, you know, there's always the most senior principal takes charge. Is the coordinating principal, and he has to ensure that the school tone is conducive.
Dr. Wade, with the benefits of the hindsight, tell me frankly, has reclassification and merger failed or successful? It
has been a success. I will use just an example to start with. You know, when we came in, we looked at the statistics of primary six pupil proceeding to secondary school, proceeding to the then JSS. You understand? And there was a drop off of 15%. So out of every 100 primary 6 pupils, then 15 were not proceeding to secondary school. So, and this government came in with a determination that the minimum education in the state would be 9 years. 6 years of primary and 3 years of JSS as the minimum. So the benefit of one way reclassification has helped us solve that is now that we have 5 and 6, grades 5 and 6 in the same environment, middle school environment with JSS of then. So finishing primary 6 doesn't now look like a terminal certificate anymore. You understand? The children are already in middle school environment and they just proceed. So that drop off, that has helped us bridge it. Again, reclassification or merger as we call it, I explained before, we had schools that were not tenable or feasible, economic to run. Schools with 75 pupils from GSS 1 to SS 3. schools with 100 people, 120 children. With a situation like this, we're just dotted all over the place. And we needed to pull them together. Match schools so that we can have schools of 500, 600 pupils in one location, and we can better provide them for them. Libraries can be better stocked. Teachers can go around better. You understand? So the classification has worked, and I believe the better results which we have posted, not the best we would have wished for, the better results that we have posted from 2011 up to now,
what are you doing to achieve the best that you actually wish for?
Well, we're going to do more for what we're doing. Like I said, the agency was created last year, and we went to work straight away. And, from the interventions, additional records, more intensive visits to schools, monitoring. We've put in a lot of things behind the scene. The incidence of Baptist High School was just a loud one, but we've done so much behind the scenes, and I want to thank the principals. Most of our principals have the interest of the pupils at heart. Regardless of the challenges and the difficulties we are facing, they are doing their best. We appreciate them. We will keep going, and if you find anybody wanting, we will find a way of really improving the situation.
Dr. Awade, motivation is key to productivity. One of those things the principals of was lack of productivity. Issues of payment of emolument, promotion as at when due. A retired principal came on this program when we were celebrating Teachers Day last week, and he said the government argument that between level 1 and 6, there's no single teacher on level 1 and 6 in Osun State. That teachers actually start from level 7.
Yeah.
So no teacher in Osun State get paid full salary at the end of the month. Is that true?
Well, not teachers alone. The state government is currently, running a modulated salary, because of the shortfall in revenue. Like I said, it's not only the teachers. And I used the analogy of church the other time. It applies also to salary. Unfortunately, we find this is where we are now, and we are the managers, on the spot. Half salary, 75% salary, whatever we take is a resource. It's something, not everything, and we must show something for whatever we are giving. You understand? Government is not Father Christmas, and if government gives you even 10% of your salary, we will expect some productivity out of it. Like I said, a majority of the teachers, regardless of the situation, they are working very hard and they are showing results. But we also have, evidence that quite a lot needs to be done, by some other people. So I regret the modulated salary. Hopefully the economy will improve and everybody will get what is due to them. But as at now, we cannot take that out on the children, because when the salaries and the arrears come, whatever children we've damaged now, we cannot call back. So that's why I, as the head of the agency, I will frown at any dereliction of duty. I will frown at any dereliction of duty. If parents manage to get the children to school, the teachers must take over and teach the children.
Is it fair to expect teachers to perform wonders when they are not well?
I'm not asking any teacher to perform wonders. I kept using the analogy of commensurate. Commensurate. That's what we are saying. If I take half, like all of us are taking half salary, I'm also on half salary. Every government employee is on some form of modulation or the other. But it is something. Government has given you something. You must show something for it. You understand? That's just the argument. And if anybody is happy to remain a teacher, they must be happy to teach. That is the argument. If you are happy to remain a teacher, then you must be ready to do what teachers do, which is teaching.
Now, most teachers that we also interface with, they complain about lack of stationaries, teaching materials in schools. What are you doing about that? They said they often put their hands in their purses and pockets to gather money to buy common utensils and, of course, stationaries for schools. Is that true?
I don't think that's largely true. I told you that up until 2014, the grant given to school was increased from, I think, was it 600 per term to 400 per pupil. So that was there. When the money was there, everything, what is available in school, is sufficient to get teaching going. I know that because it's not enough, we're unlikely to score 100%. Unlikely, you understand? But we have places where children are taught under trees. They still achieve. We have places where children are taught with charcoal on the floor. They still achieve, you understand? And the presence of teachers is the most crucial resource in education. The presence of teachers is the most crucial resource in education. Let the child not have a barrow or not a pen. What we have asked the principals to do is to be CEO, chief executive officers of their schools. You understand? Education has got to a stage where government alone cannot fund it. And we've given the principals and the teachers, the authority to, really mobilize support from within the community, old student association, parents body, and so on, just to augment whatever government is giving. And I want to again appreciate many old student associations and many principals that have used that initiative to get blown off roofs replaced, laboratories refurbished, and so on. So a lot is happening. There are many good teachers. I want to put that on record. Many good teachers, many good principals as well. But the fact that we are not really achieving enough, up to what we think we should be achieving, it means we need to look deeply where the problem is.
From the statistics available to you, how will you describe enrollment in public schools? Because we see private schools everywhere we turn to.
Yes.
Every corner, you see private schools emerging and springing up. Is this a failure of the public system?
Freedom of choice, Mr. Adefila. People who want to put their children in private schools are welcome to. You understand? The two forms, private, public, can exist hand in, side by side. We know that the children in public school in our state is like 10 times the children in private schools. The private schools are not even enough anyway, you understand? And this government runs free education, no tuition. You don't pay tuition in government school. So that's, therefore, the people, only the rich people like Mr. Adefila and his staff can afford these private schools. But we have enough pupils in our private. I think our school, our primary school, elementary school alone, is feeding every day nearly 300,000 children. Primary alone.
Dr. Wadi, ANCOPS is not happy with your decision. How are you managing the crisis?
Well, ANCOPS is a professional body for principals. We've had a very good rapport. We've met over this latest issue, and we are meeting again. Discussion is continuing, so that we can all have a safe landing. I used one phrase the other time that we are all serving the same clients. ANCOPS, government, everybody, the children. If the children are not doing well, it's either all of us have failed or some of us have failed. You understand? The objective is for the children to do well. If I put 1,000 pupils through school, I must get 990 or 900 out, qualified, sound. But a situation where we put in 1,000 pupils and we have only 20 passing. Nobody will. If we need to be angry with each other for that reason, so be it. If all hands are on deck, everybody is performing as expected, and results are what we expect, we will laugh. You understand? I have a great respect for the president and the executive of ANCOPS, but work is work, and I hope the good rapport, the good relationship will continue. You understand? Because we are not out to witch hunt anybody. But if we find that there's a weak link in the chain, we must strengthen that. We must address it, and whatever we want to do, we will carry ANCOPS along, we will carry NUT along, because if you are looking for solution, they also must have an input.
What is the fate of these 5 principals? How long will they be on suspension?
Well, that's Mr. Governor's decision. My own job is just to go around and report back, and he will tell us what to do. He gave the order that they be suspended. So it's only Mr. Governor that can lift it, and I hope that will not be too long. I hope so, because we are meeting with the principal's body and NUT, Ministry of Education, my agency. We are looking at what needs to be done with respect to Baptist and with respect to a number of other schools in the same situation of unacceptable failure rate. If a school is consistently poor, we will intervene. We will intervene.
Since when have you noticed the poor performance?
Well, the poor performance, we've been scanning the results in the past. I say in the past 12 months, effectively. We decided not to take any action last year. That let us put in some measures and see how the measures reflect in 2017 results. Unfortunately, we've not been satisfied with the response of the system to the measures that have been taking place. So we will intensify our activities. We will visit the schools a lot more. We will train teachers if need be. We train their principals. I think in February or March or so, on leadership and management of schools. So whatever weaknesses we find, we will address, as far as resources allow. But I want to stress again that lack of resources or whatever other reason cannot be taken out of the children. You don't address grievance by saying I won't teach or I won't teach properly. You understand? We will go around. If I get to any school and I get into any classroom and the classroom is empty and the students are there waiting, I will ask questions. That's my job. You understand?
With that action of yours, can we conclude here that Baptist High School had the worst results in this state in the last external examinations, both WASC and NECO?
Well, I haven't done a comparative. I haven't done the comparative. NECO, public schools don't sit NECO. So we are not really bothered about NECO. NECO is...
You are more concerned about WASC.
WASC. So I haven't really, put all the schools, on the table.
That means if you go to another school and you see mass failure, more principals will be suspended.
It's not the action at Baptist was not only because of mass failure. When I got there, I went into some classrooms and a good number of them were empty. No teacher, but students waiting. You understand? So that to me, that is unpardonable. That's unpardonable. If we make all the efforts, parents make all the efforts to get their children to school, they should be taught. You understand? So there's no reason why children should be in the class and no teachers to teach them. So it's not because of the record of Baptist, but the suspension, but what I found on the day. What I found on the day, and the fact that some records that I expected to be kept, so that we will have a fair idea of what's going on in school. They were not kept adequately. So, all of this culminated in that. We've been to, some other schools that are probably in terms of record like that, but I was able to see some efforts, So, Baptist happened to be, it just happened to have happened at Baptist,
Be under the sledgehammer, as it were. Now, let me ask you this. Can we attribute the fact that there are 5 captains in the ship of Baptist High School Iwo?
Yeah.
Can we attribute to the leadership crisis that we have there?
That's part of the things we want to find out. You understand? And we're looking at that now. I've sent a quality assessment team to the school. They will look at everything. So if the failure of leadership was due to that, we will find out. You understand? But I said principals have friends. We have a coordinating principal, on site. We have a coordinating principal who should take charge, take control of everything. So I don't think that's much of a problem, really.
Our lines have been bustling, but before we throw the lines open, let me ask you: the issue of drug abuse is prevalent in our societies.
Yeah.
Do you have cases like that in Osun State?
Osun State schools?
Yes.
Well, I think we have problems of discipline generally. Let me use that word.
Because morality falls under your purview. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. And steps taken by government, in the last two years or so, the problem has significantly dropped. Where we still have courts, in various shades. Drugs, alcoholism, I wouldn't rule out. You understand? But we're taking a number of steps to